The Golden Globes are tomorrow, so it's time to go through the list and make some last minute predictions for the night's big winners and big losers. Hey everyone, this is Zeke with Showtime and Sidelines, and welcome to my first upload to my YouTube channel. Here at Showtime and Sidelines, I'm going to be talking about all things film, sports, and pop culture, so feel free to join along by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It's always a difficult task trying to make predictions for these things for a couple of reasons. For starters, I of course have my personal favorites of the year, but those often aren't the favorites of the voters. Last year, for example, I thought Killers of the Flower Moon was on the same level as Oppenheimer, but Oppenheimer ran away with every major Best Picture award imaginable. So I always have the question of, do I predict with my heart or with my head? I think I always try and meet myself somewhere in the middle. If I predict solely with my head, it's not fun to do because I lose the passion that I have for certain projects. If I predict solely with my heart, I'm ignoring the fact that film is subjective and things I might not love might knock it out of the park with the voters. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at predictions today. Truthfully, this category is pretty stupid. I don't think it says much about which movie was best or which movie did the most for society, but it's just which movie made the most money and which award can we give to a movie that'll make people happy, which is where I have Wicked winning because I don't think it's going to be very successful in the rest of the night. It's currently sitting at number 7 in highest grossing films of 2024, and I'd be shocked if it didn't end up in the top 5 when it's all said and done. I think there's a world where this goes to Deadpool and Wolverine for making $1 billion+, but the word I'm looking at is cinematic, which is where I have Wicked slightly beating Deadpool and Wolverine. I think Emilia Perez has this category on lock. I think it's always impressive when an original musical starts on the screen, kind of like La La Land or The Greatest Showman, things like that. Emilia Perez was not my favorite movie of the year by any means, but I think it does have this category on lock. Best Original Score is one of my favorite nomination categories of 2024. I mean, you have The Brutalist, you have Dune Part 2, Challengers, Conclave, Emilia Perez, obviously. I think it's one of the strongest group of nominees, and it's really hard to predict. Right now, I have it going towards Daniel Bloomberg for The Brutalist, but if it goes to Trent Reznor for Challengers, I would be just as happy. I think those are the two best scores out of some great scores this year, and if it's one of them, I'll be content. Best Screenplay is another hard category that's going to be unpredictable until it's read off of the card. You could make an argument for pretty much every nominee on the list, but when I think about Best Screenplay of the year, films that were really dialogue-driven, I think Sean Baker for Anora and Coralie Fargeet for The Substance. I think it's one of those two. Right now, I have Sean Baker in the lead. I'd be so happy if it went to The Substance, but I think Anora is going to win this award here and possibly the Oscars. I'm starting to think that 2024 may be a great year for movies because all of these are really unpredictable. Best Director could go any which way. I personally have Coralie Fargeet winning. I could also see Brady Corbett winning for The Brutalist. I think The Substance takes the biggest risks. It takes the biggest swings, but the fact that Brady Corbett was able to make The Brutalist for under $10 million is a feat within itself. If it's one of those two, I'd be happy. Sean Baker could walk away with it as well. Edward Berger walking away with it spells good news for Conclave for the rest of the night. I'm very interested to see who wins here. Right now I'm going for Coralie Fargeet for The Substance. And here we are at the first acting category. This is my bread and butter. I loved all of these performances from this year. There's an argument for every single one. I think the feel-good story is either Kieran Culkin or Denzel Washington. I think the best performance out of this category is Yura Borisov and Anora, but I don't think he's getting the traction that you need to win these awards. So right now, for the Golden Globes, I have Denzel Washington winning for Gladiator 2. I think it's going to be a different story at the Oscars, but the Globes really like feel-good stories, they like viral moments, and I think Denzel is winning Best Supporting Actor at the Golden Globes, with Kieran Culkin as a very, very, very close runner-up. I could spend hours talking about this category. I think it's very interesting who got nominated. I thought Isabella Rossellini was great in Conclave, but I didn't think she had nearly enough screen time or moments to be successful in the award season, and I think I'm being proven wrong in that. I think Selena Gomez being nominated for Amelia Perez is a big mistake on the voters' parts. There's no chance that she wins. If she does, someone paid someone off. That should not be happening. Margaret Qualley is a great nominee. I didn't think that would happen for her, but she fully deserves it. But the three that I haven't talked about in Ariana Grande, Felicity Jones, and Zoe Saldana are the three that I have running this race neck and neck. It is almost unpredictable. I think Zoe Saldana has a really good campaigning strategy right now, as does Ariana Grande, and Felicity Jones is the best performance out of those three, and it's not a competition. But you have to think about the campaigning, and when I think about the campaigning, I think this award at the Golden Globes for the clicks, which the Globes love, is going to Ariana Grande. I think hopefully at the Oscars, fingers crossed for Felicity Jones or Zoe Saldana, but I think the Globes, Ariana Grande is winning. For Best Actor, Musical or Comedy, it's a really interesting category because I don't think any of these gentlemen are going to be nominated at the Oscars, but I'm glad that there's some smaller films getting some recognition, like Saturday Night. I personally loved, but it didn't really get the traction, so it's great to see Gabriel LaBelle. Jesse Eisenberg being nominated here is really great. Jesse Plemons, Sebastian Stan, Glenn Powell, and Hugh Grant. It's a great lineup, but I just don't think any of them are going to get in at the Oscars. But here, I think it's going to go to Glenn Powell, just based off the year that he had with Twisters, with Hitman, with the movie he did with Sydney Sweeney. I think he's really become a household name, and I think Hitman was probably his best performance this year, and I think this award goes to him for the night. Best Actress, Musical or Comedy is such an exciting category this year. There's Cynthia Erivo, Demi Moore, Amy Adams, Carla Sofia Gascon, Mikey Madison, and Zendaya. I loved most of these performances. I really think Zendaya was great in Challengers. I'm sad because I don't think she's going to get the Oscar nom, and that hurts me to my core, but it's okay. I will be so happy if this award goes to Mikey Madison or Demi Moore. I think they had the two strongest performances out of this category, and it should go to one of them. If I had to pick, I think it's going to go to Mikey Madison. She's done really well with the critics. Honora is getting so much buzz, and people are writing for her. I think she wins here, beating Demi Moore. I would be ecstatic if Demi Moore won for The Substance. She's just fantastic, and that movie is fantastic. But I think it's going to Mikey Madison. Best Actor Drama is a stacked nominee list. You have Adrian Brody, Coleman Domingo, Daniel Craig, Ralph Fiennes, Sebastian Stan, and Timothée Chalamet. These men are competing like nobody else this year. I think it's a three-way race right now between Adrian Brody, Ralph Fiennes, and Timothée Chalamet. There's a lot of different campaign strategies from all three of these gentlemen. Ralph Fiennes has never won, and he should have many, many years ago. Adrian Brody is really having his big movie again. He has this big movie in The Brutalist. He hasn't done something like this since The Pianist, and he is the best performance out of this category. But Timothée Chalamet is a movie star. He's the hottest commodity in Hollywood right now, and he's crushing it. But I think the Globes are going to give this to Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. I think he's going to win the Oscar as well, but I'll do that predictions when we get closer to the Oscars. It's a very interesting category. I really won't know what's going to happen until it's read off the card, but I am going with Adrian Brody for the winner and Ralph Fiennes as a close second. Best Actress in a Drama is a really stacked category, of course. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to catch as many of these movies as the other categories, but from what I've seen, I'm going to predict Angelina Jolie to win for Maria. I think she is a sneaky frontrunner for the Oscar, and she is just such a presence in that movie. She is commanding, and she puts on a beautiful performance. I think Nicole Kidman could, of course, win for Baby Girl. That movie's fantastic. Pamela Anderson, of course, has maybe the best story going into this award season, so it's going to be interesting to watch, but I would personally pick Angelina Jolie to win here. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy is such a great category. You know, you have A Real Pain, Anora, Challengers, Amelia Perez, The Substance, and Wicked. It's hard to choose for me. It could go any which way, in my opinion. I think if the best movies are winning, it's between Anora, Challengers, and The Substance. Challengers was my favorite movie of the year in this category, but I think it's going to go to Anora or The Substance just because they came out a little closer to the awards, and that always helps. If I had to pick, I think it goes to Anora, but if it went to The Substance, that would be such a great moment. And I would be just as happy as I would be for Anora or Challengers, but I have Anora winning here. And for the final category and final prediction, it is Best Picture Drama. There's, of course, great movies here as well. You have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, September 5, and The Brutalist. I think this movie is going to sweep Best Picture pretty much throughout award season. I don't think people are expecting it, but I do think it's going to happen. The Brutalist is going to win at the Golden Globes. It was made for under $10 million. It's a 3.5-hour drama that is carried on great performances, great directing, fantastic cinematography, and just all around is the film of the year, in my opinion. I would be so happy if Conclave won. I think that's a sneaky pick that could steal a lot of awards from The Brutalist, but I can't imagine The Brutalist not just running away with it this year. It's really the best movie to come out this year just on scale alone, and I think it's going to win big at the Globes, and it's going to do very well for the rest of the season. So those are my predictions for the Golden Globes coming up on January 5th. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and give me your predictions in the comments. What were your favorite movies, favorite performances, and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll be posting more soon. See ya.